Okay. I usually like to wait like 4 or 5 minutes before I start these things. Oh no. Oh no. Why does it say episode 3? That's not right. Whoops. Give me a second. My apologies. That is incorrect. Image. I gotta change the image source. Browse. Episode 4. My bad. Yeah, it says episode 3 for some reason. There we go. That should be fixed. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Lone Clone. If you didn't know, this is a podcast I do whenever I feel like it. When I want to talk about the mundanities. Is that a word? The mundanities of my life? Hot tea. Anyway, so I had an early day today. Half day at school. Got out at 11, which is nice. So I figured might as well, right? I haven't done this in like a month. Something like that. And you know what? A lot's been going down recently. What do we got? We had, just today, we had the YouTube Rewind. Oh, that was fun. I'm toying around with the idea of getting a Patreon. We got this new YouTube community feature. We got so much to talk about. And then towards the end, I'll be answering some of your guys' questions. If you, if you like that kind of stuff. You want to ask a question. Like I said, I won't be answering for a while, but... So, yeah. Anyway. Oh. I guess this is a good segue into my first topic. Rudio Innocencio. No, wait. Rudy Innocencio. Innocencio. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name horrendously. But he asks, where, did you make your Patreon yet? And to that I say no. For the past week, I've been toying around with the idea of reopening a Patreon. I've been putting up some polls on the new YouTube community thing, as well as Twitter, asking if, people would actually be willing to donate for a Patreon. I mean, and of course, all of this is spurred by Just Too Good. Just Too Good. He's a cool guy. Cool guy, I know. He was on Blockheads. And he just opened up a Patreon. And so that kind of got me thinking again. Because I actually used to have a Patreon, believe it or not. I'm sure if you've seen some of my videos from like 2015, late 2015, early 2016, a good few of them have like little Patreon things at the end with all the patrons that partook. Anyway, so yeah, it actually kind of started like this whole Patreon craze within this little sector of the brick filming community that I was in, because I put out a video. I'm like, hey, why don't you help me out, guys? This would have been like September 2015, I think. I deleted the announcement video, which was so dumb. I never delete videos, ever, even if they're horrendous, because in like 5 years, you're going to look back at them, and you're going to find them either really cringy or fascinating or both. Every video I've ever made, I keep, unless it's like a really dumb, like, video you don't need, like hey guys, it's an update video. But even update videos can be so much fun, Anyway, back to Patreon. Yeah, I got a Patreon, and then I was making like $25 a brick film, something like that, which was actually really surprising, because I only had around then. Oh, jeez, I could look this up on Social Blade, but I don't think I had very many subscribers back then. End of 2015, I would have only had a few thousand, which is about a third of what I had now. Let me see this. Social Blade. I got my mic in the way. I need to get like some better audio equipment, man, like a mic stand or something. That's kind of why I want to open a Patreon. That'd be like a goal though. But yeah, so I had a Patreon back when I had a few thousand subscribers. And it was going pretty good. Over the course of a few months, it kind of dwindled down until I technically never deleted the account. So like all of my stuff is still there. It's just I closed down the page so people couldn't donate anymore. But like all the settings are there if I just wanted to start back up again. But that was back when I was called Lego Clone Addict, and I used the Lego Clone Addict at gmail.com Gmail email address. So I made a new account for with my new email. So let's see here. Back in 2015, that would have been God, what would that have been? Come on, work with me, your Social Blade. Work with me. End of 2015. Yeah, I would have had about 2,000 subs right when I started my Patreon. Ooh. Yeah, that not the biggest audience to start a Patreon with, but people have done smaller. I've done with smaller. I'm surprised. How did I ever get like $25 a brick film? Granted, most of that came from like this one friend I have, this IRL friend that I go to school with, Donovan. He gave me like $15 a brick film, and then he downscaled to like 5. But I somehow managed to get like 4 or 5 other people to donate as well. But then people kind of started withdrawing their payments as they started their own Patreons. I know Darren had a Patreon. I think Jack Rizzo had a Patreon. A Few Good Films, they still have a Patreon. It's just everyone kind of stopped, stopped really pushing it, I guess. But now I'm interested again because Just Too Good. He started up his Patreon, and it seems fairly successful. He's got like $80 a video, and I created it, and that's why it got me thinking, because I created a new account to support him, because we're acquaintances. He's a cool guy. So, I just gave him $1. And, it doesn't feel like a lot. People are like, oh, why would he even bother just donating $1? He wouldn't even care. I beg to differ. People care even if you just donate $1. I don't get why more people don't just, donate $1 to their favorite creators on Patreon. Because it's virtually nothing, But, and I should do this more. I mean, because, there's this one group of creators I follow called the Procrastinators. And they primarily do, analysis videos, whether that be of, video games or anime or whatever. And they have a podcast, and, they all have Patreons, and that's how they've built up all their thing because of, that's the only reason some of them have, careers in this field is because of Patreon. And Mumkey Jones as well, who was a former procrastinator. But then a bunch of drama happened, and he got kicked out. My philosophy with Patreon, I think going forward, at least as a viewer, is gonna be probably not gonna donate more than $1 or maybe $5 a month. But see, $5, that's the point where people can be like, okay, then it's starting to become an expense, like a Netflix subscription or something, where it's okay, over the course of a year, that's $60 that could be used for something else. But $1 a month, it's kind of really, man? It's not that much. Everyone gives the example of oh, you could just buy a coffee, and of course that's a more adult-oriented example because not a whole lot of kids drink coffee. And that's one of the troubles with I'm making the worst segues ever because I'm just tangentially hopping from topic to topic. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, I guess that's kind of one of the bigger troubles with Patreon. In this kind of work, I guess work, quote unquote, that I do. I mean, for Just Too Good, he's getting 86 a month, but people say look at 200,000 subscribers and say, oh, only $86 a month. That's not very good. And I mean, the thing is, most of his viewers are kids. That's the thing, right? Most of my viewers are younger kids as well. They don't have, a credit card or a debit card or a PayPal account, generally. Uh-oh. I'm getting called. One moment, please. Anyway, sorry, my mom was calling. She wanted me to feed the dog, which I'll do later, because now is me time. Now it's time for the lone clone. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so kids. So it's kind of hard. It's harder to get I guess a hardcore audience, like a core audience, with kids, because even though they might follow you and love the stuff that you do, follow you on every social media, they don't have money generally. Or like I said, I think it's more of a thing of kids generally don't have access to something like online payment without help from their parents, right? The only reason I have I had a PayPal back in I think I opened my own PayPal account in 2014. Was because I figured it out on my own, right? Because eventually I got to the point where I want to buy stuff and I don't want to have to go through my parents for everything. And I guess that's part of gaining financial independence and kind of learning how to do all this stuff on your own. When you're younger, you don't know that, you don't know that kind of stuff. If you want to pay for something online or if you want to donate or something like that, you got to use your parents' credit card or debit card or something. I mean, I could ask you guys in the chat, like, do any of you guys, I mean, you could, like, give your ages as well, but do any of you guys have, like, debit cards or PayPals or anything like that? Anyway. The latency is gonna take a while for you guys to catch up. Anyway. But yeah, no, I remember, Sam, you were getting like $100 a brick film for a while there. That was crazy. But it was like 2 guys that donated like $50 each. Or like $40 each, and then a few other guys. Anyway. Yeah, and of course, you know, another part of it is like, you know, you don't have any money when you're young, right? That's just a thing, unless you have like a job. But you know, a lot of people have jobs because they have expenses, right? Whether that be like, you know, maybe you're saving up for a car or gas, or you know, maybe, you know, if you want to buy like extra food or something. And you know, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to kind of spend frivolously. So now you've just given up on Patreon. Well, debit card, PayPal, etc., but it's all monitored by my parents. Yeah, that's also another thing. So it's monitored by parents, which it should, right? That's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, it's a bad thing for like people like me because, right? But you know, it's a good thing because when you're a kid, you spend a lot of money on some really stupid stuff, and you know, you might regret. And you know, like concept of money, I guess, is, you know, not as ingrained as it might be for an adult. You know, might not seem as important because you're not paying for housing and food and clothing. Ideally, I don't know. I mean, there are certainly people out there that have to do that kind of stuff. But generally, for like the general American, you can, you know, when you're a kid, most of your needs are taken care of once you get to like a certain, you know, point by your parents, ideally, right? But yeah, I don't know. Talking about money is like a weird thing, right? When I was younger, I used to be like, oh, he's begging again. But then it just became like a fact of life. Like, oh yeah, stuff costs money, dude. It's a thing in the world. And if you like, you know, YouTube certainly isn't paying out, right? Even though I actually haven't been like affected by the adpocalypse at all. Like, none of my videos on the main channel have been demonetized because of like inappropriate content. Even though there could be an argument made for some of my brick films where like some of the hyper violence or like some jokes, I guess, could be like pushing the line, quote unquote. At least with this new like Reich of YouTube censorship. Or not censorship, but demonetization. And I guess partially censorship. But yeah, I haven't really been hit by it at all, for the most part. It's just, I don't make a whole lot of money because I don't get millions of views a month, right? Like, I think the most I've ever gotten in a month is like 600,000 views, and that was when I made the, oh god, that was when I made the, Suicide Squad video, and that got like 180,000 views, like, within like 3 or 4 days, which is crazy. Actually, no, I probably had my most popular month. I just had my social blade up. My most popular month was probably November because the Thor video really blew up, actually. And of course, you know, Iron Man 3 is still going strong for some reason. So, but the thing is, Iron Man 3 is demonetized and Thor's been demonetized for the entire month. Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. My monthly view, the most month I've ever gotten views was last month, and it was only about 387,000. Most of which I'm not getting a penny from, because I'm an idiot that likes to dump all of his like most viewed videos, dump all his effort into remaking videos that don't make a whole lot of money. Though this Thor video tomorrow, this Thor video I may or may not be getting all of the money since it came out. Because I sent a claim in for Disney, right? Or Disney claimed it like a few days in. Once it started blowing up, it got like once it got to like 10,000 views or something, it got claimed by Disney for audio content. And of course I'm talking about the comparison video. And so, it gets claimed by Disney. Then a few days later, it's at about 45,000. I'm like, you know what? What if I send in a, might as well just send in a counterclaim, right? Because, you never know what can happen. And I forgot, I totally forgot, or I should say, that I said, like, in the response, like, yeah, I'm using this it's for educational purposes. I plan on using this as a, part of a portfolio for film school once I apply, which may or may not be true. I think it is true, but I don't know if that particular work would be, submitted to like a film school or anything. But yeah, so I send in the counterclaim, and then I don't hear from them for like 2 weeks. I'm like, what are they doing? Right? Usually they get back to you pretty quickly. And I totally forgot. If Disney, YouTube's actually pretty good with this stuff now. Like, they used to be pretty bad and everyone was bitching and moaning about it. But then they changed it and it's like, oh, okay. Nobody really praised YouTube because, that's the way. It's easier to complain about something and then have it fixed and then, But YouTube actually did listen and made it so that if your video gets claimed and you send in a counterclaim, ads will start running on your video again while it's being, counterclaimed. And during the entire process, they'll just keep the money in like a third-party area. And if your counterclaim goes through, then you get all the money back from during that period of time. But if your your counterclaim doesn't, gets rejected by like Disney or whatever, then Disney gets all the money like they normally would. So I totally forgot that if Disney doesn't respond in 30 days from the initial counterclaim, then I win the claim and I get all the money. Which I'm like, wait, I totally forgot. So Disney has not responded. And, the claim runs out tomorrow. They need to respond by tomorrow or else I get my claim back. So may or may not be getting like, how many? It's like at 300,000 views. May or may not be getting like 275,000 views worth of AdSense tomorrow. Who knows? So I guess that's kind of exciting, right? And so I say that, and then I want to keep talking about how I want to make a Patreon again. It just sounds like I'm really greedy, but the thing is, like, ultimately, I'm operating most of my videos at a loss. Like, most of my videos do not pay for themselves, especially something like Howling Commandos. Like, the AdSense for Howling Commandos was like, it was like 50,000 views for the first episode, 40,000 for the second episode. That's like $40 approximately an episode. But I spent Brick Arms orders and special Vine. Wait, hold up, sorry. I'm subscribed to the Social Blade blog, which is terrific, by the way. And they just published an article called "Vine Founder is working on Vine 2.0." What is this? I guess there's a demand? Oh, we also got to talk about VidMe. There's so much to talk about. I haven't talked in a while. And all of the stuff I'm talking about has just occurred within like the last week. Let's see this. We're gonna take sorry guys for another tangent, but here we go. Snapchat's week in review: slumping stock, downtime, millions in unsold spectacles. Oof. Anyway, Vine co-founder working on Vine 2.0. Co-founder Dom Hoffman, like Dominic, is planning a successor to the ultra-popular 6-second video that was killed off by Twitter late last year. He says, "I'm not working on a follow-up to Vine." Oh, oof. Or I'm going to work on a follow-up. I've been feeling it myself for some time, and I've seen a lot of tweets, DMs, etc. Often didn't offer any specifics, but it's clear what the shape or form the app will take. Entrepreneur is currently working on another project called Interspace, which appears to be mysterious in its own right. The other co-founders are working on HQ, which I play every day. Viners everywhere began crawling out of their graves Wednesday morning as Hoffman shared a teaser image of what might be a potential logo for the new platform, V2. Huh. That's weird. That is weird, man. Oh yeah, R.I.P. VidMe. Anyway, so Patreon. But yeah, like, I mean, like, the thing is, so most of my videos operate at a loss, and that, you know, that's fine. I don't need to make money on everything. And then I usually have like 1 or 2 or 3 videos that blow up, and quote unquote pay for the other videos. But even then, they don't like always equate, you know, money I put into other stuff. So, you know, over time, I am technically like making money, but that's because like I'm incredibly frugal, right? I rarely spend money on anything outside of, you know, brick films. I just got a car now, and I got to pay for gas. And the car I drive, you have to get premium gas, which is, it's like a 15% more expensive than like regular gas. Oh god. And it's got like, on the highway it gets like 20 miles to the gallon, which isn't great. City MPG is like 12 miles to the gallon. So if I want to pay for gas, that's oh god. I just did the other day, and it was like $65 for a full tank, which is horrendous. And then I spent $5 on a car wash. And then it snowed, which was a bad idea. God damn it. $5 for a car wash is pretty good though, but that's only because like this local car wash gas station I have near me had a deal where like they put a coupon in the paper. It's like, oh, Sundays, you know, $5 coupon. Get a regular car wash. Even though the water they use at the car wash is like recycled water, and so your car smells like sewer. I mean, you know, but you just got to go on the highway, and then it'll air out. And ultimately, it is more eco-friendly, so you know, that's good. Also, you know, in the end, it's all right. Anyway, but yeah, like, if I want to pay for stuff ever, you know, I just pay for that in my personal savings, and so now my you know, brick films are making even less. I guess you could make it seem like that if I want to like pay for other stuff in my life. Like I have savings saved up for like that kind of stuff, but I don't want it to go down. Like I'd like to keep it level ideally. And now I'm gonna have to start paying for like SATs, which are like SAT and ACT tests, which are like $100 each time you take them. So, yeah. So then I say all that, and I say, oh, I want to make a Patreon. So it seems like, I know how that sounds. It seems like I want to make I want to make a Patreon so I can like break even in my life. But ultimately, like I've been kind of not uninspired, but like unfulfilled with a lot of brick films I've been making for the past year. Like the recreations are fine, and it's really cool that they blow up, but like ultimately they're not very creatively fulfilling. And I think you know, part of that is because like the technological side of my brick films has been very stagnant for about a year. Like if you look at my animation from something like Howling Commandos episode 2, which was over a year ago, and like an action video, well, I haven't made an action video since Howling Commandos episode 2. But if I made an action video like that today, like my technical prowess in terms of like animation and like visuals and stuff hasn't really like gone up. It hasn't really gotten better. So I'm hoping that if I do open up a Patreon, then I have like goals in mind. Like I can run some of these goals by you guys and see if you here, I'll run some of these goals by you guys. I have like a notes pad. Oh yeah, I did make the Wolverine video. Yeah, I guess that was alright. I haven't watched that in a while. God, I can't even remember my own video. Is that a sign that I'm becoming like popular? Like I forget the own stuff I make, but like quote unquote fans know me better than myself. Car washes are expensive as hell over here compared to where you live. It's $11. Oh no, it's $11 here as well. Actually, a base car wash is like $8. But the only reason is because like you have to count is because of this coupon in the newspaper, and nobody uses a newspaper. The only reason I found it is because my dad reads the newspaper. So, let me just run these by you guys. It just means you don't give a shit. I suppose. I like the way that brick film turned out, though. It's just, yeah, the action was too short. Unfulfilling. So let me run some of these by you. So for $1 patron, I'm thinking you get a producer credit at the end of each of my videos. Oh, okay. Before I go over this, I want to state why I closed my Patreon. A, because like the numbers were going down, and B, I felt weird like taking people's money because like at that point in late 2015, I didn't feel like my videos were worth paying for. Would you pay to see one of my videos, right? It's kind of like, that's kind of weird. But now I'm kind of like shifting the ideology behind this Patreon so that it's less about like, would you, you could help find it, or would this be worth money to you? And it's more about like, you can help support make these if you want, right? I'm not gonna be like pushing it super hard, just at the end of the videos and stuff like, hey, thanks to these Patreon producers. So it's gonna be. I tweeted about this, or I put this in the that one community post, and I said like less beggy and more like, hey, it's there if you want to help out, Anyway, so like in early 2016, I shut it down because ultimately it was kind of, it just felt kind of skeevy to me. But now, I don't know. I guess I've matured more, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, this is just a way for people to, support artists if they want. And this is mostly being exposed to stuff like the procrastinators, where like all of them make most of their money off Patreon, and Philip DeFranco now opening up his channel for support. And I don't know. And I guess also with like listening, the procrastinators, they have a podcast called the PCP, unrelated to the drug. And they, they kind of like, I don't know, listening to that, they kind of like broaden my horizons in terms of like, what can be considered like creative art and what value we put on creative stuff, and, what value people would want to put them for themselves on creative stuff. Anyway, do you guys think if it counts as bricks, it got snow and copyright free carol music and bells playing in the background? No. See, I said no, because that's not an integral. See, what I'm thinking you're strategizing here. This is an aside. Someone asked this in the chat. This is an aside about the spectacular. What I'm thinking, because somebody did this last year, okay? What I'm thinking is you're just going to make a brick film. That's just a random idea, right? And it doesn't have anything to do with the holidays or like snow or winter at all. Like the idea isn't about snow or the holidays, or like a snowball fight or whatever. Someone just made last year like a Lego Star Wars video with stormtroopers, and then they put like a green screen snow filter over it so it looked like it was snowing, and it was just a regular Star Wars skit, right? That's what I'm worried about if I say yes to like your answer. What I'm thinking is that you're just making a random brick film and then putting snow and then carol music in the background and say, hey, like the idea is that this whole thing is the thematic, the Brick Filmers Christmas Spectacular, right? It's a theme, right? Everything's in one video. It's all supposed to be related to the holidays or winter, okay, or New Year's, I guess. That's the idea, okay? If it's just anyway, you get what I mean. Stormtrooping. So, there's something called a job, just saying. I know. But then I get, my local movie theater is hiring, but it's like, they pay like $9 an hour. It's like, I feel like I could be doing, and of course that's not creatively fulfilling. And I know that sounds really pretentious. Like it really does. I mean, I've worked before. I've done I've done menial labor jobs where I've moved storage units and stuff. Nothing like consistent, but like I'll get $50 for working like 4 hours, you know, just like moving heavy stuff from U-Hauls to storage trucks. So it's not like I've never worked before. It's just I've never had like a job, I guess. Anyway, so I'm gonna, like I said, the idea of this Patreon is more so like it's there if you want to help. I'm not forcing anyone, or I'm not holding back any content. Or, well, that might not be true. Oh, no, yeah, that's not true. So what I'm thinking is, so for $1, you get a Patreon producer credit at the end of each video. And then, you know, just access to monthly updates, like exclusive patron updates. You know, I generally don't update a whole lot on like what I'm doing. Like sometimes I'll do that in the Lone Clone, but even then, that's like, eh. I'll go more in depth and provide screenshots and maybe like video previews and stuff like that. It's very picky for a first job, but hey, you do you. What? Okay. I don't know, moving stuff that's like heavy? Is that picky? Okay. So yeah, $1 you get producer credit at the end of the video, access to monthly updates. You know, that seems fair. $3 you get early access to videos like a day or two. I guess that's holding back content, but it's like a timed release thing, right? It's not like, oh, only you get to see this brick film. No, everyone gets to see it eventually, just like, I don't know, a day or two ahead of time. Not a week, because I cannot afford to like have a video done and then hold it for a week. Unless it's like what Jonathan does when he like we were throwing back and forth the idea of making a Last Jedi video that he'd do during like right now, and then, you know, while he was filming the Christmas special, he'd just have it and upload it. But I don't think we're going through with that. Anyway, so yeah, so $3 would get you early access to videos. $10 would get you like, you know, voice acting privileges, I guess. I don't know. That one still feels weird. Like, I don't feel like I'm a good enough voice actor for people to pay for. So I might bump that down to $5. Which would make more sense. I think I'm actually gonna do that right now. It's just kind of like, I don't know, I fluctuate so much. I'm very bipolar on this issue of like how much I'm worth as a voice actor. Like, I have a good enough audio setup, and I have, you know, some inflection, you know, in terms of like acting and stuff. I actually recorded lines for Akash's Captain America Reinstated video, and I think I actually did there was some like good bits I did in that. But it still feels like I'm not worth money. But yeah. What it seems like you're trying to say is that you want to charge money but not seem like a total asshole doing so. Exactly, right? I want to stay humble, right? I don't want to be overreaching. And I don't want to charge. I just want people to, like, you know, here's an incentive if people want to donate. So I guess, yeah, I'm bumping that down to $5. Voice acting privileges. Basically, like, I don't voice act publicly anymore because I generally don't find it like the reward I get in terms of, like, you know, minor exposure or like, you know, the fun of it, or, you know, just helping someone out. You know, I mean, it takes time. Like, I gotta like clean up the audio and then export it and then upload it. Granted, that like if someone asked me to do like 4 lines, honestly, it would take me like 3 minutes to like record, export, upload, email. 5 minutes to do all, you know, all the extra stuff, and then I'd be done. But it's the thing of, like, you know, finding time to do that. I'm a horrible procrastinator when it comes to this kind of stuff, which is also why I would never charge monthly for a Patreon. I would just charge per brick film. And I remember this time last year, like, getting to the point where I had like 50 backup voice acting requests in my email. But that was like right in the thick of me voice acting cap for for Austin and Akash. I guess that was like 2 years ago. Jesus. I'm a way better Cap voice actor now. Your Cap voice is worth money, TBH. Oh, thank you all. So yeah, so the idea is that like $5 would get you like I could be your personal voice actor. Oh, I remember why I bumped it up to $10 because I felt like there would be like one guy out there that would be like, okay, like every week he's like, hey, I got a new role for you, and it's like, yeah. But the vast majority of people that would like even like capitalize on this opportunity would only probably do it for like 1 or 2 roles. Like now, the only reason I'd want to voice act is if it were a friend or like a person I know, or if I'm getting paid, or if it's like a really big channel. Look, I'm gonna be honest, all right? I don't really care about voice acting for like subpar, scripts, from people with like, 200 subscribers. I'm sorry. I really am. I know that makes me sound like a total douche. Right? Not a douche. That's more like an asshole. I know it makes me sound like a total asshole, but it's just true, man. Okay? I've just been so burnt out on voice acting. It's to the point where I haven't been like publicly voice acting for a year, and I still just thinking about that idea of like getting a request every like day, just makes me not want to voice act. Even though I think acting is fun. Right, especially if like the role is good, and that's the that's kind of the risk I take when I close down all voice acting, is that like I miss that like diamond in the rough request where it's like, oh wow, this is good and this guy has a lot of potential. I mean, like I said, it's slowed way down now that I don't really do it publicly anymore. But it's to the point where, like, I look at every email and every request, but, like, if it's like, hey, could you do Cap for me? I'm like, no. But yeah, I kind of forego the opportunity to kind of, like, invest in someone's channel, I suppose. Like, when they're small, but they're, like, really good. Like if Brick Bros Productions came to me and asked me, like, would you voice act? I'd say yes, because they have 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, that's oof. But like, I don't know, like this time last year they had like 3,000, and if they would have asked me, I would have been like, I don't know, man. Actually, for them, I probably would have said yes, because they still made really good videos even back then, like quality videos. Their Christmas special was actually the first video I featured in the Christmas special last year. Or I guess rather, their Star Wars like video that was like 9 minutes long was the first video featured in the Spectacular last year. Because I saw it, I'm like, whoa, this is good, right? It's about the popularity, yes, but it's also about like, it's a thing of like I guess time versus it's investment and what you get out of it. Risk versus reward? Kind of, not really, but like it's kind of like, what am I putting into it and what am I getting out of this? I'm past the point where it's like, okay, I want to work at being a voice actor, because I don't like in the future, like, would I be a voice actor? Would I want to be a voice actor? Is it I don't know. It could be fun. I wouldn't like pursue voice acting professionally ever. Maybe do like what Dan Harmon does on Rick and Morty. And he's like, he's like a writer and he's on the production side of Rick and Morty, but he just voices Bird Person because he's got that one voice that's funny. It's like, I am Bird Person, I can't do it, but yeah, I want to be that guy that like kind of, I'm on like the production side, and maybe I'll like throw in like a line or two here or there. Who knows? If I were to ask you, would you do it again? I'm not saying I will, because I have no plans for that, because my channel's miniature. Yeah, sure, man. I mean, you fall into like the guy I know category, where it's like I enjoy it when I do it for like people I know, because that's kind of like a friendly thing to do, and that's because I do enjoy voice acting. it's just like, you know, I'm to the point where like I'm satisfied by just voicing for myself and voicing for, you know, the people I know and friends I know. And, you know, I get, you know, the itch is scratched, you know, with people I know. So anyway, so yeah, so $5 voice acting privileges. Basically, you can ask me to voice act for whatever, just as long as it's not like super vulgar or racist or anything. I'll put in like a disclaimer there that says something like, if I find the role to be like too vulgar, then I reserve the right to forego your request. And then $20 if someone wants to be like a super cool guy, I guess. I might bump it down to 15, but you're an executive producer. It's one of those things where it's like it's there if you want to help. You're an executive producer. You get like a special slot in the producer slot. You know, I'm debating whether, you know, depending on the video, I might like shout out your name, like, hey, special thanks to this guy and all my other Patreon producers, for supporting this video. But if it's something more serious like Howling Commandos, you know, I just put like, I think for Howling Commandos episode 2 and episode 1 actually, I put in the credits like all the Patreon producers. But I mean, I didn't have any quote-unquote executive producers because my definition of executive producer back then was $50, which is asinine. So I'm bumping that down to something much more reasonable if someone actually wants to do it. But if it was something for like Howling Commandos where I wouldn't want to talk during the credits because it's a quote-unquote, you know, serious video, I guess more cinematic video, or like something like a Lego Cafe, right, where it's more cinematic and kind of, you know, dramatic, melodramatic. I wouldn't like shout them out, but their name would be much bigger than the other people's names, essentially. And alongside that, you know, they get like a exclusive feedback on scripts and animation that they might have. I don't know what else I could do to like spice that up, like personally, because the other thing is like I don't want to spend all my time like fulfilling rewards. And granted, I gotta taper my expectations here for like how many people do I think would actually like, you know, take advantage of this $20 goal. This is an advertisement edition of the podcast. Well, I'm running this by you guys. Well, this podcast is about me, right? It's the what's it called? Narcissist podcast. So I'm talking about me and talking about myself. So and you guys get to give feedback. And the reason I'm saying this is so you guys can actually give feedback and say like, that's a good idea, or I don't think that's, you know, that's enough, you know, especially for like $20 a brick film. But you gotta keep in mind that I'm charging per brick film, and not like brick films I did during Me and Mabby J, where it take like, you know, 4 hours and I just like thought of an idea and it's 20 seconds long and I edit and upload it. I wouldn't charge for that. Something like Lego Cafe, I would, because I spent a few weeks on that actually. Of course, you know, bigger projects as well. Basically, something that's like more than 2 minutes, I think would be fair. Yeah. Should I do Lone Clone fan art? Sure, dude. If you want, I totally feature it on my channel. Let's see here. There was this one guy the other day that or this was a few weeks ago, that did like a fan art of Hanukkah Harry, and that was just like the most visceral thing in the world, and I loved it. I need to download that. I have a fan art folder on my desktop. So yeah. So goals. Here's what I'm thinking for goals. These are fairly modest because I don't think I might bump them up a little bit because, you know, they're a little low right now. But if I get $50 goal, I'd buy. The idea is to get like spend more money on like more dynamic lighting. One of the coolest things I've seen I just watched his Brotherhood Workshop video. Something he does really well in his videos, and I think D. Tenaglia is just starting to do this as well. But there's this company that you can buy like LEDs from that like integrate with Lego so that you can get like cool, like I don't want to say cinematic, but like more, you know, you can get more creative with your lighting. Like you can just have like a bit of red, like a neon red thing like over there, or like something more soft over there, or just like really focalized lighting over here or there. Brotherhood Workshop made a great video on it. So yeah, buying LEDs for videos so I can like kind of up my game a bit. For 75 bucks, if I was making that, I do like more behind the scenes and tutorial videos and commentaries. The thing with commentaries is like I do them, but my videos aren't nearly long enough to do them. But I mean, you know, it's not like out of the realm of possibility. Like even with the commentaries we do with Jonathan's videos, like we'll do them for like the 4-minute videos, and just talk like before and afterwards. Like it doesn't have to like sync up perfectly with the video. It's just a commentary on the work itself, not necessarily what's happening in the video. And you know, with BTS videos, it's kind of like the thing with the behind the scenes videos, like you need to prep for that, right? You need to like film stuff during production and film time lapses during production and then save that footage until the video already comes out. And tutorials, I mean, people ask me for tutorials sometimes, but it's like I don't even know what I do a tutorial on. Like I've been kind of doing the video essay thing, and I'm about to put one out, ideally this weekend, but who knows, about smooth animation. And it's not like a tutorial or anything. It's just kind of more about the big idea of it all. Lego Elephant Studios. Sorry, my phone turned off. Should I do fan art? Yes, please. That would be incredible. I love the style you're doing, by the way, that you've been working on recently, with the kind of like I don't want to call it like gross out humor, but it very much reminds me of like something like Ren and Stimpy. You know, the kind of like whole I guess gross out humor would be, you know, the kind of like gross animation. Not gross in the sense of like, oh, there's blood everywhere, or like, oh, he's vomiting or something like that. But gross in the sense of that, like you look at it and you just feel like uneasy. I love that stuff. Didn't you do a commentary on Thor: Man in the Stars if it is about the holiday sales? Did I? I don't think I did. I may have. I mean, the idea was once I finished Howling Commandos, I would like make a movie of it with all the other like tangential videos as well, and videos from other people's channels that tie into Howling Commandos. And I'd make like the Howling Commandos movie, but I'm probably gonna have to shave an episode out of Howling Commandos if I want to finish it by the time I graduate. Especially since I haven't made a single episode this year, which is probably one of my biggest regrets. So yeah, so 75 bucks, I do BTS vids, tutorials, commentaries. If I was getting 100 bucks, I'd want to purchase better audio equipment, because like a Blue Yeti gets you like 85% of the way there, but I'd like to get, you know, even more of the way there with like an audio interface and like an actual mic stand, so that when I tap on the table, you know, you can't hear it vibrating through this dumb mic stand that I have on this Yeti. And I mean, all USB mics, you know, I mean, they're good enough for most people, but I just really kind of like to get all the way there, like I said. If I would get to $150, I'd start buying lenses. 75 bucks on Patreon, what? No, these are goals. These are goals, my dude. So if I get $75 total per brick film, then I'd start doing stuff, like various stuff. These aren't tiers, right? This is a collective thing. Like if I'm getting 75 bucks total, then I do more of these BTS vids. So for $100, like I said, better audio equipment. For $150, I'd start like getting other lenses. Like I have one lens for this T3 I have, and it's just kind of like, you know, it's kind of limiting, right? Like the depth of field is always the same. It can either be like, it's always like backgrounds are always really blurred out, and I don't know, I'd like to get some different stuff. What's your Patreon? I haven't started it yet. I'm just running these ideas by you guys. And then at $500, which is like a super stretch goal, which I don't think I'd ever get. At some point I'd like to get to the point where I don't know, if I'm making $500 a brick film, then this is like an actual like viable career opportunity. Not a viable career opportunity, but it's becoming like a bigger thing. I like to get to the point where I can actually like commission other animators to like, you know, work on the animation side of it. because I have a lot of ideas. It's just I'm just a lazy animator, and I have a ton of other stuff to do. So yeah, those are the goals. I don't know. If you guys got feedback, let me know in the comments if you're listening to the video on demand. But yeah, that's Patreon. How long have I been talking? I feel like we're already almost an hour in. We've been going for about 56 minutes. God damn it. Oh, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, let me see here. Alex, you clearly want to do Patreon. Just clearly set the levels, get us to kind of agree on it, then boom, I'd say. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to start it, okay, at some point. Within like a week or two. It's just I need to find time to like make a video about it. I'm gonna start it. It's just like, you know, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting feedback from you guys right now. If it is about the holiday sales, what are you talking about, dude? I think it's a great idea. If it is about the holiday. Oh, are you asking about your own video? Yeah, sure. If it's about holiday sales, then yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. I'd let that be in the Brick Filmers Christmas Spectacular. Let's talk about that for a second. Why don't we? Oh man, this is the most consistent thing I've ever done in my life. I mean, granted, I only have to do it once a year. But even still, like I started doing this in 2014. I got like 11 entries, I think. Oh, no, I think I got like 7 entries. That turned out to be like 13 minutes worth of, or like 15 minutes worth of footage from Brick Films, including my own. And then, let me see here. So yeah. Rogue Robin Studios. Well, this is boring. Dude, it's a podcast. Of course it's boring. It's a podcast where I talk about myself. Narcissist podcast. I don't leave this up on the channel. I re-upload the stuff to the Blockheads YouTube channel if you guys are curious. Then let's look at movie thumbnails for 6 hours, because that was so fun. I told you that stuff was boring. I never said it would be exciting. I'm done with that anyway. I pretty much listed every single movie I've ever seen. Anyway, so yeah. So let's talk about the Christmas Spectacular for a second. So yeah, I've been doing it for every year since 2014. I actually thought last year would be the final year, but you know what? It's not to the point where I'm like applying for colleges yet. So sure, why not? And even next year when I am applying for colleges, then I'll still probably do it, because I always somehow find time for stuff and find time to neglect my actual duties. That's like an investment in my future. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Blockbusters. $1 credits, BTS picks, little things. $3 early access. $5 line max voice acting. Tiny vlogs. $5 all voice acting. Or 5 line max voice acting. Tiny vlogs. $5 all voice acting. Script included in the video review. Drinking. That's why I think you should set the stuff. That's an interesting. I'm just thinking about like would I want to like split the voice acting? Because then it's like, okay, I'll just do like 2 lines for you. Then that would bring a lot of people up. Cuz you know, $5 a month, that's a thing. It's a fine line. It's a very fine line. This is why I didn't do what I did last time and do $1, $5, $10, $20, $50. It's a very fine line once you get past $1. Once you get past $1. So would I split voice acting up so it's like 1 line, or like, you know, maximum 5 lines? See, that's the thing though. Like if I did do that, that's like most of the requests I would get though, that are like 5 lines max. I do like the feedback though. What are you drinking? I'm drinking tea. Are you going to name this episode the Narcissist episode? I'd probably call it Bah Humbug. Probably. Definitely split. I'll think about that. That's a good idea. Yeah. Anyway, so So yeah, the Christmas Spectacular. I really should have made that video a week ago because I usually give people like a month of, you know, prep time and work time, not 2.5 weeks. Because then people can actually like plan for stuff. But I mean, in all honesty, it's probably a good thing now that, because oh man, how many subs did I have last year around this time? I think I had about like 6,000, maybe 7. Now I've got 12. I just hit 12, which is awesome. Let me see here. Whoops, hit my mic. But yeah, like I said, last year I got like 60 entries. And it totaling like 3 hours of content, and that took like 5 hours to like export and like another 2 or 3 hours to upload. Oh my god, that was horrendous. That really was horrendous. On Christmas Day, because people kept sending in late entries and I felt bad. I'm like, oh, I guess, man, you know, I felt like I owed people something, right? Like they sent in their entries for me to use, so I owe them for their video to be in the video. I think I'm past that now. Cause like at the end of the day, like, you know, I'm not paying them or anything, right? And like the whole idea is like, yeah, this is the spirit of Christmas. And yeah, some people are gonna be mad that their videos don't get in because, you know, their video didn't follow all the parameters. But if I want to stay sane, I think I'm gonna have to be way more strict this year. And that's why I made that vlog. That was the most like janky vlog I've ever done. That grip I was using to hold my phone, I posted a picture to Instagram. It took like 10 minutes to build. I need to buy a Gorilla Pod. I'll use my personal savings. I wouldn't use Patreon money for something like that. I use my personal savings to buy that. I just need like a stand I can like do vlogs on. I might do vlogs as well. That might be another, maybe like Patreon exclusive vlogs at like a $10 mark. I said I won't be holding back any content, but who knows? I don't know. But I mean, like vlog, like people don't really care. People would care if I held back like behind the scenes videos and stuff and tutorials. A tutorial would be dumb to hold behind a paywall anyway. Maybe not a vlog. Anyway, so back to the Spectacular. I am actually very curious to see how many entries I get, because I put this video out a week and a half later than I really should have, or at least than I did last year. Oh, wait. I think last year I put out the video like November 1st. I can't remember. Can someone look up that date for me? It's still public. I put it private for a while, but anyway. So let's see here. Detailed statistics. Give me something, Social Blade. So around this time last year, I was about 7,000. 7.5 thousand. So yeah, I'm a little less than twice as much that I am for here. So no $10, man. $5 max for benefits. Yeah. I figured. Thank you. See, this is what I want. This is the feedback I want. Also, you DM'd me something. Okay. So, I'm really curious. As of yet, I am gonna be making another Lego Star Wars video for Christmas, but the clock is really winding down, isn't it? It's the 6th today. I have until the Spectacular comes out, so that'll be probably Christmas Day, Christmas morning, to finish it up. I'm gonna start exporting and rendering it like on Christmas Eve, though. That's the thing. So that gives me what, 18 days, 2.5 weeks. I don't have an idea for a video yet, and I don't think I'm gonna like keep going with the trend that's like the rhyme scheme, because like I look back at the video, and the one I did last year was so rushed. It was about Rogue One. I didn't have any ideas at all. Even though some of the there were some bits that were funny, like oh, that didn't rhyme, you know. But ultimately, like, I'm not, I don't have the kind of time where like I can spend like hours on a script, you know, so I can make it rhyme and make it make sense. Because otherwise, if you like want to make the script rhyme, you know, you're not gonna have like the perfect iambic pentameter or whatever it is, where it's like, you know, consistent flow between lines in a Night Before Christmas type, you know, kind of style. And it's not, and I'm gonna end up with like the really dumb rhymes, like little Kylo Wrench, or wait, what was the rhyme again? It was something oh, and the Skywalkers around Christmas, they loved the time they spent, but little Kylo Ren already went off the deep end. It was something dumb like that, where it's like, okay, that's a stretch. So I don't think I'm gonna go with the rhyming this year, even though that is like a 3-year tradition at this point. I think I'm gonna skip that and actually make like a coherent video, unless I make it really simple, in which case that might be better. November 30th. Okay, so I only gave people a month last time. So yeah. Please look at what I sent you on Instagram. Okay. Motion movies. Do you think there are a lack of third-party games on the Switch? Podcast question. Compared to like way before, no. I mean, people are like parading around like how, oh, Rockstar is supporting the Switch, but it's like, and Bethesda's supporting the Switch, but I don't know, how long is that gonna last? Is Machine Games owned by Bethesda? They do Wolfenstein, right? Who are the guys that did Wolfenstein and Doom? I think that was Bethesda. And Skyrim. LA Noire was Rockstar. Publishers, yeah, that was Bethesda. I think Bethesda is, it will be supporting the Switch in the future. Rockstar, I don't know, man. Their games are huge and like super sprawling. They have like big games, man, like big games. Underrated Rockstar game, by the way, Sleeping Dogs, terrific. It's like GTA, but like in Hong Kong, which is awesome. Anyway, so, oh yeah, so Lego Blockbuster. What did you want to say? I'm the $1 thing for PayPal and your voice me is still in, right? Yeah, man. Oh, whoops, was I supposed to say that on stream? Did you ever send me the $1, though? I don't remember. I'll look through my PayPal account to see if you actually sent it to me or not. So yeah. I am kind of worried to see like what happens after this first year. Like, you know, what is there? I mean, like you have like the JRPGs and stuff. You know, that's good for like the Japanese audience, but like Western audiences don't really care too much about that stuff. And you got the indie games, which I'm actually surprised at how well Nintendo's supporting the indies, the nindies as it were, for the Switch. And I think the indie support will keep up. I'm still worried about like big third-party games because so far, like the biggest ones we've got are like I guess Mario Rabbids. I think Ubisoft, you know, I think Ubisoft definitely has potential for continuing their support. Ubisoft was a big proponent of supporting the Wii U, even though no other third party would. So I think Ubisoft's definitely going to be helping out. They're not going to be putting like Assassin's Creed on the Switch anytime soon, but who knows? EA, I don't know, man. Didn't they put like the NBA 2K18 on the Switch, but apparently that ran really poorly. I don't know what EA is going to be doing. So like, and the other biggest like third-party releases have been like, you know, Doom and Skyrim, but those were Doom was a game from last year and Skyrim was a game from like 6 years ago. So like I said, Bethesda, you know, they're doing ports, and Doom apparently ran well enough to be acceptable. I don't know how well. I'd imagine Skyrim runs well, because if it can run on a 360, it can probably run on a Switch. I think the Switch has better specs than the 360, even in handheld mode. So Skyrim should be running fine, aside from the fact that it's Skyrim and it's buggy as hell. And then Wolfenstein 2, I hope that comes out early 2018, because it's already out for like PC, right? I'm excited for that. Wolfenstein 2. But I'll be more confident with Bethesda's involvement with Nintendo once they start releasing games that are same day release as as other consoles and PC, or like, other console like grouping. Like, oh, if it comes to PC first, but then it'll come to the consoles. Then I'll be more confident in Bethesda, but right now they're kind of iffy for me. Like I said, EA is Rockstar probably not going to be doing anything. Red Dead is definitely, there's no way in hell Red Dead 2 is going to be on the Switch. And then what are some other third parties? Activision? Nobody really cares about Activision. Oh yeah, so Wolfenstein 2 already did come out. I think Nintendo's still struggling, but we'll see how many Switches they sell after this holiday season. And I think 2018 is when third parties are really going to start jumping on board, but we probably won't see the results of the third parties jumping on board until 2019, because they're probably going to start making their games now or in 2018. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, what else is there? I'm putting hella effort into it. Okay, cool. Do you think Fallout 4 should go to the Switch? I think it should. I don't know if it can. Like Breath of the Wild was struggling. It wasn't struggling. It performed pretty well on Switch. At like 960p, 30 FPS. For the most part, it had 30 FPS. Like when you had like a lot of particles in the air, like in the what's it called? The forest, the hidden lost forest, Kokorino? No, Korok Forest, with the Great Deku Tree. Like that area was like, that was low frame rate, dude. And then whenever you have like a bunch of fire everywhere, like it'll struggle. And that's when Nintendo's games are like native. They're built for the Switch. So granted though, it wasn't as optimized as it could have been. It was built mainly for the Wii U. I take back what I said about it being built for the Switch. It was built mainly for the Wii U. So I'd like to see what Nintendo could do with like a big like a big world that's like optimized, like 100% built ground up for the Switch. Mario Odyssey runs pretty excellently on the Switch, actually. It's just Mario Odyssey prioritizes frame rate over resolution, which could be, it works. Like you get a lot of anti-aliasing, or I guess a lot of aliasing rather. Fallout 4 isn't very graphically intensive. Well, that may be true. I feel like it's enough though for it to be a challenge to get on the Switch. But again, who knows? Who knows? Nintendo's been doing a lot of stuff that we haven't been expecting from them recently. How much time have we been going for? I think we've been going for a little over an hour, right? I'm going for about an hour 15. We can talk about a few more stuff. Favorite consoles? Switch, easily. I don't have any other consoles. I have a Wii, of course. I used to have an Xbox 360 for a few months. Only played Modern Warfare 3 on it. Then I sold it. So I can't really talk about my 360 experience too much. And then for handhelds, I have a DS Lite and a 3DS. 3DS is awesome. I mean, it's underpowered, but there's lots of games there that I really loved. Yeah. But Switch by far. I mean, Zelda and Mario Odyssey alone are just, oh my god, that's enough to make a console. Let's talk about Game of the Year for a second. I think tomorrow they have the Game Awards. which I don't think I'll be watching them live. I don't know, maybe. I'll probably just get like Twitter updates about them. In terms of, because both Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild are best voted for best game of the year. And while I do think Mario Odyssey is a much tighter game in terms of like, you know, overall, like the experience is just more consistent than Breath of the Wild. Because Breath of the Wild, everything's kind of, you know, there's a lot of empty space in Breath of the Wild, you know. And Breath of the Wild definitely has its problems, like, you know, all the shrines are the same, all of the quote-unquote dungeons are the same, you know, they don't feel like dungeons. This game doesn't have dungeons. The one dungeon it has is, you know, Hyrule Castle. And maybe potentially that whatever that DLC thing turns into, which hopefully we get like a trailer for that DLC during the Game Awards. That's what everybody's thinking. And that would definitely help with making it way better. And you know, what else with Breath of the Wild? I mean, like I said, sometimes they have those frame dips. I mean, those aren't really bad at all. They're few and far between, to be honest. Let's see here. What else is there? So yeah, like I said, Mario Odyssey is it's a tighter experience and more consistently enjoyable experience. I don't know, man, but there's just something about the magic that Zelda had for me. You know, that was technically my first Zelda game, but I already knew everything about Zelda because I watched plenty of YouTube videos about like all the lore and stuff. And I felt like I was already really super attached to the series, even though I'd never played a game. I lied. I have played like the first like 20 minutes of what was the one game? It was the one on the 3DS where Phantom Hourglass. And I also played like half of the original Legend of Zelda on the 3DS Virtual Console. I guess I just prefer game series that have like lore over and, you know, like a more developed world as opposed to Mario, where, you know, even though it's a tighter experience, it doesn't have like that lore behind it. And people will like fabricate it, where it's like, I subscribe to this YouTube channel called Commonwealth Realm, which is a great Nintendo channel. But sometimes they'll do videos like, oh, the Mario timeline. It's like, Mario doesn't have a timeline. Come on. You know, and Zelda, even Zelda doesn't necessarily have like a timeline, but I don't know. There's more to it on the surface level than like, you know, Mario. You know, Zelda, you know, from game to game, even though Zelda isn't built to have like a timeline, you know, even Nintendo just kind of like created the timeline themselves when they made the Hyrule Historia. It just kind of made it up. And Zelda games aren't designed around being anywhere in the timeline. But like, you know, there's a deeper, yeah, like I said, deeper than the surface level. You know, there's the people and the lore and the way different things get like reimagined from game to game. Like, you're always gonna have like some form of Ganon, you're always gonna have a Link, you're always gonna have a Zelda. But like the various inhabitants of the world and the physics engine for Breath of the Wild, revolutionary. Not really, in terms of like all gaming. But it's, God, that was so much fun. Just gliding everywhere and having the ability to go anywhere. There's more of a magic, you know, to Breath of the Wild. And, you know, maybe I think there's more magic. There was definitely magic to Odyssey, but, you know, I never played a Mario 3D platformer before that. Oh, well, I guess I did play 3D Land. That's not really a true, quote-unquote, Mario platformer. But, like, I never had, like, a super big attachment to, like, 64 or, what was the other one for the GameCube? Whatever it's called. The one that had voice acting for Bowser was really weird. Sunshine. Because I never played those games. And so, you know, going back to the platformer 3D Mario, and, you know, it's exactly like those, you know? It's like 64 and Sunshine, and it's all the best of everything, you know? I don't necessarily have that emotional attachment that some other people might have. Even, because, like, when I was growing up, I played, like, 2D Mario games. Like I played my first video game like on a console or anything, something that like wasn't Club Penguin, was when my mom bought me a DS, like 2007 or something, and it came with a New Super Mario Bros. And that's the game, like 2D Mario, that I have more connection with that than the 3D Mario. But yeah, but Breath of the Wild, like I said, I don't know. I just feel like more emotionally connected to it. It's more atmospheric. I love the tone. So for me, Game of the Year is Zelda. And I saw someone in the chat mention like, oh, there's also other stuff from other consoles. Yeah, but I don't care. You know, what are the other Game of the Year categories? I think Game of the Year 2017. So we got let's see here. Oh, IGN gave out their Game of the Year, Horizon Zero Dawn. I remember Horizon being a big thing. Game Awards. Awards, let's see here. And I follow like all the companies. Just I follow Nintendo way more than like Sony or Microsoft. I used to follow all of them pretty equally. When I used to watch this channel called Kind of Funny a lot, but I kind of stopped watching that. So they have Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Player Unknown Battlegrounds. Interesting. Persona 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn. Well, Persona 5 doesn't have the backing, so that's not going to win. Horizon Zero Dawn, I could see that. I could see that winning. PUBG? Who knows? That's a PC game, and it just came out to PS4 and Xbox, so... You know, PUBG is a really good game. And then there's Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. After like a month though, like people started really complaining about Breath of the Wild. It's kind of like it's exactly what happened with Force Awakens. Not as far as the extent of like, you know, the backlash that eventually happened, but like with, you know, like with Force Awakens, like everyone loved it when it came out. 0 to no negativity. Then after a month, people kind of started, you know, looking at it again. People were like, ugh. Oh, this is the same movie. You know, people started actually hating Force Awakens, which is like, really, dude? You know, like it's a bit of an extreme correction. And so I think that happened with Breath of the Wild as well. Like a month happened, and then, you know, people started getting down on it more, like, oh, you know, oh, all the dungeons are the same, and, you know, this and that, and everything's so empty, and and this and that, and it gets too easy towards the end game, and the final boss isn't that great, you know. So I don't know. That's actually tough. Which has more star power? Mario Odyssey is probably gonna win it because that has way more star power than Zelda. But I think I'll vote Zelda. Confirm my vote. Do I have to log in? Oh, hell no. Well, no vote for me then. What are the other... Oh, they also have Best Game Direction. Breath of the Wild, Wolfenstein 2, Mario Odyssey, Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 7, interesting. Best Narrative, What Remains of Edith Finch. That's not going to win because nobody's ever heard of that thing. Nier Automata. Wolfenstein, Horizon. It's probably going to be... Or Hellblade. It's probably going to be Wolfenstein or Horizon. Art direction. Oh, that's either Destiny 2. No. Cuphead. Ooh, that's a good contender. Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that's pretty good. Horizon Zero Dawn. That's also pretty good. And then Persona 5. I think Cuphead's... Because Cuphead is just a critical darling of a game. Everyone loves the aesthetic. Cuphead's going to win. Score music, Destiny 2, Cuphead, Nier, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, or Persona. I have no clue. Soundtrack on Breath of the Wild was very ambient, so I don't think that's going to win. Mario Odyssey, that was kind of ambient as well. There's not like any tracks that really stick out in my head when I think of Mario Odyssey. And I haven't played the other games, so I don't know. Audio design, Destiny, Hellblade, Resident Evil, Zelda, Mario Odyssey. I don't know. It's a toss-up. Best performance. Hellblade, Uncharted, Brian Bloom, Wolfenstein, Ashley Birch, Horizon. Probably going to give it to Ashley for Horizon. Games for Impact, Knockdown, Life is Strange, Before the Storm. They did the Life is Strange prequel? What? I thought he was supposed to be answering people's questions. No, it's about me. And if I want to answer people's questions, then I'll answer people's questions. But if I don't feel like it, I won't feel like it. But seriously, I'm confused. When are you supposed to do lines for me? And shut up about the no business or advertising. Shut up. I want to know what this guy is asking me, so shut up. What? Oh, whatever. That doesn't involve me. Okay, later beat 'em up productions. Let's see here. Life is Strange. I really liked Life is Strange. Bury Me in My Love, Remains of Edith Finch, Hellblade, I don't know. Ongoing games. Warframe, Rainbow Six, Overwatch, that's gonna win. GTA Online, Destiny 2, PUBG. It's gonna be Overwatch by far. Mobile game, Super Mario Run, Fire Emblem Heroes, Old Man Journey, Monument Valley 2, Hidden Folks. Probably Super Mario Run because that's the only one that's probably the most popular. Handheld games, Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, Monster Hunter Stories, Metroid Samus Returns, Ever Oasis, Fire Emblem, Shadow of Valentia. Man, Nintendo's got a monopoly on handheld, which makes sense. I mean, the Vita is dead. Nobody really cares about the Vita anymore. Monopoly. Ooh, that's a tough one. Not gonna be Woolly World. Fire Emblems, Ever Oasis, Monster Hunter. It's probably gonna be Metroid. That has the most star power. VR game, I don't know. These are things I don't know. Probably Resident Evil 7, Biohazard. Action game, Prey, Neo, Destiny, Wolfenstein, Cuphead. Probably Wolfenstein or Cuphead. Uncharted, best action adventure game. Uncharted, Lost Legacy, Assassin's Creed, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Zero Dawn. Toss up between Zelda, Odyssey, and Horizon. Let's see here. Let's see. Best RPG, South Park, Fractured But Whole. Final Fantasy 15, Divinity, Original Sin. Oh, that's a good one. Persona 5 or Nier. Which one is the most popular? See, that's the thing about the Game Awards. It's not what the best one is. It's what's the most popular. Fractured But Whole. I remember the first South Park game was really good. Could you imagine that on a Nintendo system? Oh my god, that'll be the day. Hey man, they got Doom on Nintendo Switch. They're gonna get Wolfenstein, a game about Nazis, on the Switch. Hey man. Okay, so what else we got here? Best. Oof. That's a toss-up. Maybe Nier. Final Fantasy 15. People hated that. Probably Nier, South Park, or Persona. Divinity is. Best fighting game: Tekken, Marvel vs. Capcom, ARMS. No. Injustice. No. Man, none of these are very good. Probably going to be Injustice because that's probably going to be really popular. Family games: Splatoon, Sonic Mania, Mario Rabbids, Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Man, Nintendo's got a monopoly on this one as well, aside from Sega for Mania. I mean, that's a toss-up between any of them. I don't think Kingdom Battle's going to get it. But Mario Kart, Odyssey, Sonic, Splatoon, those are all good. Strategy game, XCOM 2? They did XCOM 2? Oh, man. Tooth and Tail, Total War, Mario and Rabbids, Halo Wars. Mario and Rabbids might get it. I don't know. It's probably going to be XCOM, though, I'd imagine. Sports game, Project Cars, soccer, NBA, GT, Forza, FIFA. That's a toss-up. Multiplayer. Fortnite, COD, World War II, Splatty 2, Mario Kart 8, Destiny 2, and PUBG. Probably PUBG. Or Call of Duty, I'd imagine. Most anticipated games presented by McCafe. Last of Us 2, Red Dead 2, Monster Hunter, no. Marvel Spider-Man, God of War, It's either going to be Red Dead 2, it's probably Last of Us. Last of Us was just such a critical darling. Everyone loved it. Indie game, Pyre, Cuphead, Night in the Woods, Hellblade, What Remains of Edith Finch. Oh, Cuphead, easily. Best student game. Never heard of any of these. Skip that. Trending gamer, Steven Spawn, Mike Grizik, Guy Behim, Clint Lexa, Andre Rene. I don't know. Best esport. Rocket League, League of Legends, Dota, Counter-Strike, Overwatch. Oh, man. Jesus. Probably not going to be Rocket League. Man, all the MOBA communities. Probably not going to be Dota. If it's anything, it's probably going to be League of Legends. But Counter-Strike is certainly possible, and Overwatch as well. Overwatch is booming. It's probably going to be Overwatch or League, I'd imagine, but I think Counter-Strike has a good chance. Best esport player presented by Omen by HP. I don't do FaZe. Hey, FaZe Clan. Sick. I don't do any of these. It's probably getting Fortnite or COD for multiplayer. Let's see. Best esports team. I don't care. FaZe Clan. Sure, why not? Best debut indie. Cuphead or Hollow Knight. I've heard some people really loving Hollow Knight, but I think Cuphead's gonna get it because that's got the exposure. Best Chinese game. Never heard of any of these, and that's it. All right, so we'll see what happens at the Game Awards, and I think with that, I'm gonna head out, guys. Thanks for listening, but I should probably feed my dog now. But yeah, thanks. This will be re-uploaded to the Blockheads YouTube channel if you want to see it. And I got a video essay coming out later this week. I got the Star Wars Christmas special coming out later this by Christmas, ideally. I've got the what else? Probably gonna be opening up a Patreon within the next few days, maybe tonight even. But I got a lot of homework to do. Jesus. And then what else? Yeah. Oh yeah, join the Christmas Spectacular. Watch the video for all the rules. So yeah, thanks guys. I'll be seeing you later. Bye. Oh wait. Oh, and let me take you. Let me let the music take you out. It's been fun having you guys. Goodbye.